So, if I can, I want to ask you a couple questions. So I got into a discussion today with some folks about essentially morals and people's moral compass, if they have one, and what guides their decision-making process. And the crux of the conversation was kind of an exercise in what would you do? So you're posed with questions that are kind of difficult to answer, and they really are a test of, I guess you could say, your moral fiber. So I want to find out from you guys, what would you do if you were faced with these situations? I'd love to get your answers down in the comments, or honestly, I'd love to see a reaction video. I'll be talking about it over on Twitter as well. I really am curious to see how different people react in these situations. So question number one, you come across a wallet on the ground that has $1,500 in cash in the wallet. What do? Do you return the wallet, turn it into the police, and hope it gets reunited with its owner? Or do you look at this as a windfall? And quite frankly, $1,500, for some people, that's a mortgage payment. For some people, that's a car payment, an electric bill, and a week's worth of groceries. Do you take the cash and turn the wallet in and say, I just found a wallet, there you go, and pretend there was never any cash in it to begin with? Question number two. If you only had 24 hours to live, what would you do with your time? Would you rail against your impending death? Would you fight tooth and nail to stay alive and overcome your fate? Or would you spend your remaining moments with loved ones, with friends and family, and maybe chip away at that bucket list and enjoy the last moments of your life before you're gone? Question number three. If you came across a couple arguing in public, there's no one else around, just you and the two of them, and one of the couple assaults the other one, like physically harms them, would you step in and do something to help the person who just was attacked? Or would you turn away, mind your own business, and walk off? Question number four. If you had the ability to go back in time to just one point in history and make one change to the timeline, where would you go and what would you change? I gotta run into the store real quick, so I'll give you my answers when I get back. Alrighty. Sorry about that. So I promised you my answers. So for question number one, $1,500 cash in a wallet on the ground, no owner in sight. Who is not going to be tempted by that situation, right? Like I said, that's a lot of money to some people. Maybe it's not as much to others. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of money to that person that worked for that $1,500. So to be honest, it would kill me, but I would return the money. Question number two, you got 24 hours to live. Do you fight to stay alive, or do you accept your fate and spend the time best you can with your family and loved ones? Well, that's another tough one. It's like, I kind of feel like I'd be doing both. I feel like I would go through that denial phase. I'd go through the anger. I wouldn't want to accept it. And you know what? I think I'd want to get drunk one more time. I think I'd want to make sure I make love one more time. Of course, it's hard to come to terms with the idea that the clock's running out on you. And I think at the end of the day, while I would try to get as much out of it, squeeze as much juice out of that lemon as I can, I feel like I'd be fighting to stay alive too. Question number 3, you come across spousal abuse in progress. There's no one else around, and 2 people are together, clearly a couple, and one of them just hauls off and wails on the other one and just completely snaps and hurts the person that they supposedly love. Guess what? I'm not having it. I'm not walking away. If I saw some chick all of a sudden kick boyfriend in the nuts and he hits the ground, no, I'm walking up on her and saying, ho, 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 I'm dialing 911. That's wrong. You don't assault somebody. If it's a big 6'2" dude taking a shot at some 150-pound girlfriend, brother, I'm intervening. No question. Question 4. Ooh. Point in history. Where do you go back in time if you have the opportunity to change the timeline? For me, that one could be several different spots. And the part about changing one thing in the timeline, I mean, okay, you could go back and make sure Hitler doesn't rise to power. You could go back and, I don't know, make sure that 9/11 doesn't happen. You know, if you could change one thing and it would save a bunch of lives, yeah, there'd be a whole bunch of points in history where I'd love to be able to go in and alter the outcome of some tragic event, right? All right, so if you've been paying attention, I told you that there were going to be 5 questions to answer, and I've actually only given you 4. So I'm going to give you question number 5 right now, right here. What would you do if I looked straight into the camera and I asked you to please scroll down and hit that subscribe button right now and help me build this channel? Would you hit the subscribe button? Or would you turn off the video and go watch something else? What would you do? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Relax. Subscribe if you like the video. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for putting up with my stupidity. And I hope you had fun thinking through those tough questions. And thanks again for watching. I will see you on the road.